I'm back. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Geez, I don't even know. I think it's Tuesday. It might be Tuesday. I think it might be Tuesday, guys. Yeah, man, it's been a long week of traveling, running around, driving all over Tennessee. It's been very, very interesting. Obviously, dealing with stuff going on with the mom. Can't tell you how much I appreciate all of the Facebook messages, emails. I didn't respond to everybody, comments on my YouTube videos, knowing that people who subscribe to my channel view me as a friend, not just as someone who they like to, listen to from time to time, because not everybody watches every video. So I'm assuming you watch from time to time. And just that amount of support really means a lot. What's going on, guys? We got Tucker here. MCAP, who, by the way, real quick about Mike, if you want to put the name of your YouTube channel in the live chat, go ahead and do so, because I forgot the name of it. But what I really like is, I'm trying not to get too emotional today. What I really like is, I like seeing all these new YouTube channels popping up. Some people don't like seeing them. I actually do. What have I always told you guys for the last year and a half? Always watch more than one person. Always watch more than one review, and always never listen to just one guy's opinion. I've been telling you guys that for a long time. And the fact that we see all these other YouTube channels pop up, like Rainwater Games, Your Average Gamer, Mike Caputo, he's starting a YouTube channel. All that stuff. Oh, we got someone from Japan here. Very, very cool. So like MCAP and a couple of his buddies, I believe, are starting a YouTube channel as well. And, the fact that these guys are doing this, that they were inspired by others, as well as the fact that I started doing this a year and a half ago because I was inspired by others. You know what I mean? It's great. It's great. And yeah, I've had small success. I would never claim that I've had big success. I mean, I only have roughly about 8,000 subscribers. After a year and a half, a lot of people are telling me that's a pretty good amount to get there within a year and a half, to be around 7,800, almost 8,000 subscribers. Some people, they take off, right? So you guys who are new, if your channel doesn't take off immediately, you know what I mean? Don't quit. Keep doing what you're doing. That's my best advice for you, is don't quit. Keep doing what you're doing. You will find your audience, and your audience will find you, whether it's an audience of 1,000, whether it's an audience of 100,000, or whether it's an audience of 1,000,000. Your audience will find you, and that's the audience you should care about. The number is less important. What's important is, are you having fun doing this? If YouTube feels like a job, if you're not having fun anymore doing it, you probably shouldn't do it. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, everybody. And yes, so guys, do me a favor. Mike, go check out his new channel, The Basement Corner Arcade, and click that subscribe button, guys. Everyone knows MCAP and the AtGames community. So all that good stuff. Luis is here. He says, bribe all the right people. Yeah. And also, guys, don't fake your numbers either. Don't fake your numbers. If there's one thing that I totally respect other people in this space. The only thing that irks me personally is if numbers are faked. So there's websites you can go to where you can buy channels or you can buy subscribers, and don't do that. It's best to start from scratch, start from zero. That's what I did. And look where we are today. We're about to hit 8,000, and hopefully in a couple of months, we'll hit 10,000 with the current growth rate of the channel. And if all else fails, get an inflatable hot tub. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something kind of funny real quick before we officially kick off this little early morning chat. So I was at Tennessee, and I went to 3 Walmarts while I was in Tennessee, and it blew me away walking through their electronics divisions in all these stores. So for instance, out here in Arizona, guys, if you walked into any Walmart out here in Arizona, probably because we're more heavily populated, plus maybe, and I no offense to anyone in Tennessee, probably higher income levels out here in the Phoenix metropolitan area. you can't find Arcade1Ups in stores. Like, you go to an electronics section and you might find 1 or 2 machines at the most in a store. It's not like they have them hiding in the back. That's all they got. And also, too, when it comes to the toys and collectibles, the racks are empty, right? I walk through. Thanks for saying I've earned every subscriber. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. So I walk through Walmarts in Tennessee. All the action figure and toy aisles are completely full. Every aisle, even the action figures. Now, here's what's interesting, and I misspoke a little bit. Out here in Arizona, if you go through a Walmart, you walk through the toy section. The toy sections are actually pretty well stocked, except the action figure aisle. The action figure aisle is nothing but empty pegs in every Walmart you go to out here. But out in Tennessee, I went to 3 Walmarts, all of them completely full. You want to go get He-Man, Ghostbusters, all those ones that came out last year that you can't find anywhere now, they're in Tennessee. It was pretty funny. But what really blew me away was the amount of Arcade1Up machines in all of these stores. I did post a picture on, I think, one of the Facebook fan groups saying, hey, check this out. They had like 8 machines. They had risers. They had stools and all that stuff. And it was the same thing at every store in Tennessee. It was pretty hilarious. Hey, what's up, Antisocial Hero? SL says try finding them in Japan. Yeah, I bet that's the case as well. So that kind of blew me away. Now, part of it obviously is a couple of things. Number one, less population, less interest. I was in the west side of Tennessee, where it's less populated than like the Nashville area. And number two, it's lower income, right? And these machines were still full price. Every machine. It wasn't like they had these things on sale, $300, $400, $500 a pop. No offense to the great people of the state of Tennessee, but lower income neighborhoods, I'm assuming, not a lot of families have the money who frequent those Walmarts to pick up those machines. Thanks so much, UAG. Appreciate it. What's up, Meatball Saucy? So I found all that very, very interesting to see. Now, another funny story real quick before we get to the content is, so I stayed at a DoubleTree hotel, you know, those DoubleTree by Hilton hotels in Tennessee for the last 5-6 days. And what's funny is they warned me. They said, hey, when we check you in, we're going to put you in the top floor in the back corner. And I said, why? Why is that? And they're like, well, we're having a big high school reunion here. Massive high school reunion. They've got about 2/3 of the hotel sold out. They're going to be in the bar. They're going to be in the banquet room. And they're going to be probably partying it up in the lobby. Want to keep you away from the noise. And I'm like, wow, this is a big warning, right? This is a huge warning. Like, what is this? Like a bunch of 20 and 30-year-olds running around the hotel. And part of me was like, yeah, I stayed at a DoubleTree hotel. So, what's up, Pitbull? So what's funny is, so I'm thinking, you know, here I am 40. I'm like, okay, you know how it is. Like, I remember my 10-year high school reunion as well as the 20-year one. I remember, now I didn't go to them, but some of my best friends did go, and they told me, they're like, yeah, a lot of the girls were just, you know, looking to hook up with guys who they never hooked up with in high school. And so I'm like, and then it was a huge crap fest, at least my high school reunions, which I didn't go to because I was married and I had no interest. But what was funny is, so I was thinking to myself, man, there's going to be like all these like gorgeous 20, 30-year-old women running around this hotel, right? So I find out, and here's the joke, guys, when I get down there, one of the times I went down to the bar to go grab a beer, to deal with the stress, and also out of curiosity, I go down there and it's the class, the class of 1965. The class of 1965. So many old people. It was like a nursing home. But let me tell you something, man. Those older gals, they know how to party, man, and they were very flirtatious as well. I'm hanging out in the bar, having some beers, relaxing, and they're all dressed to the 10s. So many permed white hairs sticking out to here. And it was hilarious. But I was like, why is the hotel warning me about this high school reunion? Like, they party hard and we're going to keep you away from the noise. It's the class of 1965. Oh my God. I remember I was telling Michael B about this on the phone while I was gone, and he was laughing hilariously. It was so funny. But man, yeah, they were loud. They were crazy. They partied harder than some people in their 20s and 30s. I'll tell you what, man, you better watch out for those cougars, right, Rascal? Oh man. Yeah, and yeah, they were old, very old, but they knew how to party, man. And I've never seen so many wine glasses. And what was great is every time someone walked up to the bar and I was sitting at the bar, you know, these older gentlemen, what drink do you think they asked for? What drink? You know what drink they asked for, right? They all walked up to the bar, all the guys, and they're like, "Hey man, can we get a Manhattan or an old fashioned?" You know what I mean? Which is like a very popular drink from that generation. So there were Manhattans and glasses of wine just all over the bar and all that. Very good, Michael. Old fashioned. So anyway, so I thought you guys might get a kick out of that. I'm like thinking like I'm gonna go downstairs. There's gonna be all these hot women everywhere. I could at least stare at them because you know if you're married, it's okay to look, right? You could stare at them, flirt with them, whatever. Chill at the bar, try and take my mind off events. And sure enough, it's the class of 1965. And they did make it to last call. They closed the bar down. Dreamcast Kyle. They closed the bar down. They shut the bar down around midnight on the weekends because it's the hotel bar. It doesn't stay open super late. But man, they were packed. They were packed. Thanks so much. I'm glad you enjoyed that story. Okay, let's talk about a couple of things. So I'm going to pull something up here real quick. I didn't get a chance to add my thoughts to this. So let's take a look at what Naughty Louise Chambers posted on the Facebook groups. Luis, I know you're in the live chat. Did Arcade1Up send you this quick video here? Let's take a look here. We appear to have a reveal of our Simpsons cabinet. And this render is weird because it looks like it has a horizontal screen, doesn't it? Now, I saw Michael B, the Game Genie, said that this thing might have a 19-inch screen on it. Maybe the render's just off. I don't know about that, but this all confirms we're going to see our big white trackball here. Excuse me. She's having so much fun. Why is she leaning in so far? Can she not see from the side? And then, of course, you see that trackball. That looks to be the same trackball that they put in the Golden Tee cabinets. Luis says they did not, so Luis won't reveal where he got the video from. It's not widescreen. See, I didn't think it was. I think that's just the way they made that computer render look. So I'm not too worried about it. Now, Michael B, I saw his live stream while I was traveling, and he said that he thinks it might have a 19-inch screen. So if it has a 19-inch screen, that'd be pretty cool, right? We've been asking Arcade1Up for bigger monitors for a long time. And all that stuff. That dude was totally sideways. But yeah, Adam, that's what we're hearing. Is that it is a... Oh, she's leaning in to make sure she gets more commercial FaceTime. Well, I mean, she was a paid actress, though, right? So we'll see. But Michael B says he believes that these are going to have 19-inch screens, which will help justify as well as the increased cost. I have a feeling these machines are going to be around $600. So that's a lot of bread to spend on 2 games if it only has 2 games. In my personal opinion, I feel that the rumor of it having Tapper, the Simpsons Tapper, is probably just a rumor and not true, because that's a homebrew hack of a Midway game, not a Konami game. So the odds of that actually being on this cabinet are small. Sounds like it's just going to be Simpsons and Simpsons Bowling is what it sounds like. Luis says, hopefully Michael B is right. Well, Luis, you got the inside track. You're the only one Arcade1Up is talking to. Let us know, brother. Let us know. Let's see here. Yeah, Simpsons Bowling. So I have a feeling that it might just have the 2 games, kind of like the Ninja Turtles and Ninja Turtles 2, and that could all be due to licensing costs. I mean, you know that Simpsons license ain't cheap, and Arcade1Up obviously wants to make a profit on these cabinets, although we would have all loved to see a bunch of Konami 4-player beat-em-ups on this cabinet instead. But it is what it is. Kev Gretz says 600 is a price discussion that needs to be had. Well, I've noticed that a lot of people have had it recently on their live streams, so I don't want to just do the same thing everyone else is doing. But I am concerned with the rising costs in this industry for sure. Because if you look at it for $600, you're like, wow, for that same price, I could get a multi-cade like an AtGames or an iiRcade and have access to even more for my money versus just a couple of games that I might get bored with quickly. But then again, keep in mind, guys, that doesn't matter to every customer. Some customers, they absolutely hate the AtGames and the iiRcade, as well as multicades from, Rec Room Masters, Game Room Solutions, because they want a real arcade in their home, or a miniaturized 3/4 scale. Let's not forget, we're building these arcades in our home, but these are 3/4 scale arcades. So your mini arcades in your home, a lot of people, they don't care. They want the artwork, they want the cabinets, they want a couple of games on each. So it's all what's that word phrase? It's all relative to what you guys want. You know what I'm saying? It's all relative to that. But taking a look here, so E3 is coming up this weekend, right? So I've been trying, when I have free time, to figure out what's going to be happening. So we do know that Arcade1Up is one of the exhibitors at E3. So they will have probably a special showing as part of the E3, maybe part of the IGN stream. We don't know yet. I've been trying to do some digging to find out what day and time they're making their announcements, and can't find it. Can't find it yet. But then again, it's only Tuesday. Now, when it comes to Unico MVSX, if you guys have been following my channel, we did confirm that they do have an E3 announcement. I was under the impression that they were just going to make their own announcement timed with E3, because if you're going to make an announcement, so many people are going to be searching YouTube and stuff, and websites, tech websites, gaming websites, looking for information on this stuff. So if you're going to make an announcement and you didn't want to pay the money to be part of E3, now's the time to do it, right? But it turns out that they are actually going to be one of the exhibitors at E3, and they'll also have their own part of the show where they'll be like, there'll be like a live stream dedicated to whatever they're presenting. So again, at least we confirmed that. I was under the impression that they were just going to make their own announcement, like on their social media platforms this weekend, and that would be it. But it appears that they are actually doing an exhibitor. Don't have the date and time yet. Once I do, I'll let you guys know. I'd like to make kind of like an E3 video, like here's the date and times, go tune in, enjoy. That's what I'd like to do for everybody. So whatever Unico's announcement is, I don't think it's going to be like many announcements like Arcade1Up. They probably just have one or two things to show off. They're a smaller company, but I'm still interested to see what they're going to come up with. Unico shoot 'em up cab, you never know. A lot of folks are hoping for oh geez, what is it called? A Capcom cabinet and things like that. So they are going to be on YouTube channels. I'm sure they'll do interviews to whoever is part, like whoever asks, right? Like if we ask them to come on the Super Game Room dudes, they probably would. Unico, Bill McLaughlin, and them, Jay over there at SNK, they're all really nice guys. So I'm sure if we said, hey, you guys want to come on our show for some free press, they probably would come on our show as well. Yeah, I agree with this. Online E3 just isn't the same. I mean, we all want to be there, right? We all want to see the covers pulled off products and all that stuff. Now, when it comes to iiRcade, so technically I did talk with Jong, and I said, so Jong, are you going to do your technically E3 announcement? Or are you going to do it on Friday? Now, from what I can tell, iiRcade is not an exhibitor at E3, but Jong has his weekly live streams. That's all he needs, right? He does them twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. So I did message Jong today, early this morning, and I asked him, I said, hey, is your big E3 announcement going to be this Friday? Are you going to time it with E3? And he made me laugh. He goes, this is Jong. You guys know Jong, right? Probably one of the best CEOs out there. He goes, he messaged me. He goes, our E3 started last week, baby. Talking about the announcement of all those Data East titles, as well as the release of Retromania Wrestling. Jong cracks me up. He called me baby. That was pretty funny. But Jong did confirm that he will have big announcements today, actually. So if you guys are thinking E3 is not going to start till this weekend, it looks like on Jong's live stream today, he says part of his E3 announcements will be revealed today on his live stream, which is at 2 o'clock Central Time, something like that, guys, or 3 o'clock Central Time. 3 o'clock Central Time. So, guys, make sure you tune in because E3 starts today, at least for iArcade. And then, of course, on Friday, Jong will have more announcements as well. So there you go. And yes, Retromania is quite fantastic. Now that I'm home, I'm looking forward to downloading the final version and playing the final version. I love this comment. Jong has his own exhibit, iiR3. There you go. Yes, he has announcements weekly, but these are kind of the bigger ones that he's been holding for E3 is my impression from what he's telling me. So I know during my lunch hour at work, I'll tune into his show and see what he's got to say. He didn't tell me what it was, obviously, because he doesn't want anything to leak, and I didn't ask. Only had time to send a couple text messages back and forth. Now, when it comes to AtGames obviously is not an exhibitor at E3, but I have a feeling they might have something to say this weekend. So keep your eyes on the usual places, and let's see if anything does leak out. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. 100 show announcements were good. Thank you so much. Yes, my friend. I love it when Jong says that. Let's also talk about some product stuff, guys. So, for instance, here's what's cool is folks shouldn't count MVSX out. So from what Unico is doing. So for instance, import data does show that a whole bunch more of these MVSX arcade cabinets did arrive last week. About another 1,000 of them have shown up, guys, within the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So these MVSX red arcade cabinets are still selling, guys. I mean, especially if they still have roughly, this says, I know you guys probably can't see it, but that's about $480 per container. So you're talking about another 1,500 machines have shown up here within the last week. So that MVSX cabinet's still selling. I like mine. I have it back there. But of course, like I told you guys, if you're going to get it, you're going to want to put the high-low hack on it to truly, really enjoy it. Because, you know, unless you're a huge Neo Geo fan, before the Neo Geo fans rip me apart, if you're a huge Neo Geo fan that loves Neo Geo fighting games, if you like, see, I love Neo Geo games, but I love all their like sports games and things like that, the games that weren't included on the stock cabinet. So that's why I did the high-low hack, and I'm really enjoying all those games. There you go. Throw a high-low on that, and you got 250, and boom, there's your cabinet. So that's what's going on, guys. We got a whole bunch of those. And also, when it comes to AtGames, guys, the oh geez, what is it called? Legends Pinball Control Decks. A few containers of those did show up. Let's grab it for you. Did show up last week, and they promised folks that these Legends Pinball control panels would be arriving. Let's take a peek, guys. We're just going to zoom in here, take a look. So back on May 27th, we got about about 3 containers of Legends Pinball control decks. Looks to be ballpark, and keep in mind, import data websites are never 100% accurate. But yeah, probably about 1,000 of these Legends Pinball control decks have arrived, and they're on their way to the AtGames warehouse. So with them on their way to the AtGames warehouse, AtGames did inform folks. They said, hey, those pinball control decks will be shipping out mid-June to folks. So maybe sometime next week they'll start shipping. So if you guys are worried about where your Legends Pinball control deck guys are, it's coming. It's coming. And yes, I love that US volleyball game on the iArcade, as well as you could play it on 100 other emulation devices. It's like the NBA Jam of volleyball, but not really. It doesn't have as like He's on Fire or anything like that, but it's got a lot of cool stuff. Now, what I do find interesting is when it comes to the Arcade1Up stuff, is that hang on one second, guys. Is that these, Arcade1Up has been doing their best to get more pinball machines, right? Get more pinball machines. And apparently, guys, another roughly 1,000 pinball machines have arrived recently. A whole ton of these countercades. I know you guys really can't read this, and if I zoom in, it's going to mess up my screen here. But, we got about 1,500 about 1,200 of these Costco Super Pac-Man. I'm sorry, I keep wanting to say Costco Super Pac-Man. Those Super Pac-Man countercades that we just saw revealed on Target's website, looks to be about 1,200 of those have arrived, as well as about another 500 Atari Legacy with risers have arrived. But take a look at some interesting stuff here. Marvel Pinball, we got a couple hundred more Marvel Pinball have arrived. Obviously, our Arcade1Up themselves announced that the 32-inch Infinity gaming tables have arrived, and those are shipping out to folks. But also, there is, I got to find it on here. Hang on, I got to find it on here. There's roughly about another 1,000 Star Wars pinball machines have arrived as well. So those of you who are interested in their pinball machines, looks like ballpark about 1,000 Star Wars pinball machines have come in, as well as a few hundred more Marvel pinball machines have come in. That Star Wars one obviously probably going to be top seller because of the name Star Wars, right? So lots of stuff coming into the ports, guys, which is very, very interesting. So one thing to keep in mind, guys, if you frequent these waters of YouTube, is that when it comes to E3, IGN, CES, these are big news times for our gaming world, whether you cover modern gaming, retro gaming, and the retro gaming YouTube channels like myself cover these events, right? We all play in the same sandbox. So you probably see a lot of guys dropping similar videos throughout the weekend. I hope no one takes it as spam, but it's a big time for our gaming world. And if you think that what we do is a lot, the retro gaming channels like myself and others, think about all the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation and Xbox channels. There are probably 20 times the number of those type of channels versus retro gaming channels. And YouTube is going to be filled to the brim with all kinds of gaming news about like Xbox Bethesda announcements and stuff like that, which I'm probably not going to cover unless we want to talk about it on Super Game Room Dudes. So keep in mind, guys, we all play in the same sandbox. We all cover the same thing. And that's a good thing for all of you. If you guys care about getting opinions and reviews on YouTube, there's always more than one guy to listen to. There's going to be plenty of content out there for you. And then, of course, after the event's over, things will taper off. One thing I've told you guys is when it comes to my channel is we're going to be doing less news and more reviews. A lot of times when these, and I was victim of it, and this is also some advice I can give to the younger YouTube channels, is when I was doing my channel for a while there, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to be the arcade news guy, right? I'm just going to make news channels. But although that's good content, you'll get a couple thousand clicks. People are like, what's the news? What's going on? What happens, guys, after a week or two? That video is dead. There's no reason for anyone to go back and watch it. But when it comes to tutorials and reviews and quality content, that video stands the test of time. So you'll guys have noticed I've done a lot more reviews lately, a lot less news, because those news videos are cool in the moment, but then they just sit there as clutter on your channel. And I'm trying to make sure I give you guys better content moving forward. Obviously, when it comes to CES, E3, IGN, we're going to cover these events. They're big news events. And obviously big news, like if there's a huge announcement to make, we'll cover those, stuff like that. But when it comes to just, hey, some like Golden Axe is available at Lowe's. I'm sorry, not Lowe's. Golden Axe is available at GameStop. We used to make videos for those here. There's no reason to make those videos. A simple post on social media will suffice, guys. So just a heads up there, guys. Yes, great time for content this week and next. You guys are definitely going to get a lot of it from a lot of retro gaming channels. Now that I'm back in town, I got to catch up. I got tutorial videos for AtGames for their arcade machine and their pinball machine that I'll be releasing. So I'll have some tutorial videos for that. I have a stack of products that I need to review. Some stuff I've mentioned, some stuff you guys haven't even seen yet. Now that my channel is growing, I have companies, and I'm talking small companies, not like big companies like Arcade1Up. I got companies sending me stuff for review, things like that. So thanks to your guys' support. People are sending us stuff. I get random emails like, hey, do you want to review this tablet? Hey, do you want to review this handheld device? Hey, do you want to review this microphone? You know what I mean? So I got stuff like that coming out that I got to get to as well. Paul says he comes for the news. Well, we still cover the big stuff, right? Of course, what you guys may have noticed is a lot of the smaller stuff, like, hey, this product's available for sale. We're just throwing that like under the community thread on the channel. But there's no reason to make an 8-minute video for 30 seconds of information. So just a heads up there, guys. Brad says more tutorials. And of course, guys, the Super Game Room Dudes is an arcade and gaming news podcast show. So part of me was like, if I'm going to talk about this on Friday, why should I make a video about it today on this channel? Does that make sense, guys? So you guys definitely want to subscribe to the Super Game Room Dudes as well, because that's primarily a gaming news and entertainment show. I mean, it's kind of like Saturday Night Live. We try to mix in some funny with the news to make it worth your watch. So, and all that stuff. Let's see here. Nice comment, 8-Bit Brian. I appreciate it. Enjoy your meeting, Kev. Greatly appreciate you stopping by. Will AtGames let us put background images on the back box to customize our legends? I haven't heard anything about that. But if they did, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Is it hot? It's going to be over 100 here. I'm back in Arizona, as you can tell. I'm in my office. It's going to be over 100. So yeah, it's going to be warm. It's going to be warm. But that's what's going on, guys. I got a whole bunch of products I got to review, as well as gear up for covering the E3 event this weekend. We got a lot of companies to monitor and see what's going on. Hopefully I gave you some information about who's doing what. Make sure you guys tune in to Jong's live stream today. I guess part of his E3 announcements will be today at 3 p.m. Central Time on their YouTube channel and their Facebook page. Stuff like that. Any comments on AtGames graphics for the Gamer Pro? Any idea on what would look nice? I mean, that's personal preference. It's up to you, man. Like, what games are you into? Like, if you're into, so for instance, I have the Joe Sabo package back here on this machine, the multicade package. So I'm assuming some kind of multicade package would look best. Got to show us that BSS Buy Stuff store. Yeah, so I do have, that's another thing. I have the Buy Stuff store stand, as well as their Legends Gamer Mini, which I haven't even built yet. It's still in the box. And I also have, they sent me Legends Gamer Mini that's got their feedback mod all put in it for virtual pinball. So I got to hook that up to my PC and test that out and do a review video on that. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, so Phoenix Suns, I don't care. Oh, yes. And then I got my Epic Toy Box, or my Ultimate Epic Box. So I want to open that up. I haven't even opened it up yet to see what's inside. It's here though, so I can't wait to check that out as well. Alrighty. Rexer gave me his Gamer Mini. I love Rex. I hope Rex comes back and starts doing YouTube videos as well. All right, guys. I got to turn on my work computer and read about 300 unread emails and get caught up on the day job that pays for all these toys. And I appreciate you guys catching up with me. It was fun to catch up and let you see what's going on in the world of arcade gaming real quick. And I am back, and I'll start releasing videos throughout the week here. Hopefully I can get at least a couple product reviews in before E3, because once E3 hits, guys, all weekend, everyone who plays in this sandbox is going to be covering E3 like crazy. You guys are going to see lots and lots of content. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Help us hit our next milestone. We're getting closer to 8,000. We'd greatly appreciate your support. And as always, guys, thank you for hanging out upstairs with us. And it's good to be back. I'll be talking to you guys real soon.